problem, but now do a balance sheet. And again, here you have the assets, cash, accounts receivable, land, office equipment. Here you have the liability, accounts payable. And then the rest of this you won't use. All you do is carry forward the statement of owner's equity. Now let me go ahead and put up the example for you to follow. You know, it surprises me how sophisticated we've gotten with all this stuff. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, old guy like me, who thought I'd ever learn it all? Thanks. You guys, let me put this up here because it looks like people are ready for it. Let me make it large, as large as I can. Hit autofocus. Give you a minute to look it over, see what questions there are, and we'll also go through it. So again, notice the formatting. It's the same as the fundamental accounting equation. Assets go on, here's the assets. And cash, accounts receivable, supplies, the resources owned by the business. Here's the single line because you added them together. Here's the bottom line, it's a double line, total assets. Over here you have the liability, there was one of them. There were two, they'd be itemized in total, but there's just one. And then the capital, notice the asterisk. Computation of amount from exercise 15, which is from the statement of owner's equity. And then you add them together, make sure they equal. There's two double lines, so there's two bottom lines, so there's two double lines. Dollar sign at the top of each column, $, that. And then again, the day is a specific day. On October 31st, this is what the business would look like. Okay?
So is the goal to get them to equal?
I think it's kind of the opposite. If they don't equal, then you got a problem. You don't try to make them equal, rather it's more of a check. No, and I hear you saying, but it's a check. So if they do equal, you know, everything's looking, as far as you can tell, everything's copacetic. If they don't equal, then you know there's a problem. Now, by the way, we'll get into this later, you can make errors such that they equal, because there's errors that kind of affect both sides in the same way. But we'll get into that in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but sometime, of course. You guys, so let's do this. Everybody okay with this? All right. Now, don't forget there's a fourth general purpose financial statement, the statement of cash flows. So the statement of cash flows, so for a business to be healthy, two things have to happen. It has to have a profit, and how do you know if a business has a profit? Income statement, right? And it has to have the money on hand to pay the bills. Now that's called liquidity. It's got to be profitable, it's got to be liquid, right? How do you know if a business is liquid? You go to the statement of cash flows. So here is what one looks like. Now, later on, we'll spend a whole chapter on the statement of cash flows, but let me introduce it now. And so notice that, and don't spend a lot of time in the statement of cash flows because we'll just go over it later. Notice that there's three sections to it. I'm going to, let me turn this off. Let me lift this up. Let me turn on A light. Notice there's three sections. So this is the statement of cash flows. And what it measures is liquidity. And liquidity means you have the cash on hand to pay the bills when they do, plus maybe some working capital. But that's what liquidity means. Okay? Notice that it has three sections. It has cash flow from operations. And that's up here at the top. So $1,000 worth of cash came in from operations. Next section down is cash flow from investing. So cash flow from investing. And then it has cash flow from financing. And then at the bottom, it reconciles, down here, it reconciles the cash account. So let's start out with the top section, the statement of cash flow from operations. So in this case, operations, of course, is how you're in business. So you got some cash from your clients, $6,100 with. So the parentheses means cash out. So cash in from your clients, cash out when you bought supplies, cash out when you paid for the rent, cash out when you paid for the employee. There was a net increase of $1,000. Everybody okay when I say a net increase? You take the pluses, subtract the minuses, gives you the net. Okay, so there was a net increase of $1,000. Then you have the cash flow from investing activities. So investing activities, in this sense, you buy and sell assets. You buy an asset, cash out. You sell an asset, cash in. Now in this case, what they did is there was just a purchase of $26,000, cash out, so it has parentheses. Had they sold a building, then it would have been cash in. But it's buying and selling assets is what they mean by investing there, okay? And the next flow is cash flow from financing activity. Cash flow from financing activity is where we're talking about investing or borrowing, okay? So in this case, what we have here is we have the investment of 30,000, and of course withdrawals is the opposite of investment, okay, right? So withdrawals, had they borrowed money, it would also show up here, okay? They didn't, yeah. Now, by the way, accounts payable, and we'll get into this later, shows up as an operating activity, even though it's debt. We're talking about long-term debt, where you borrow, you float a bond or whatever, okay? Then, when I point out, so then the net change is 1,000 came in from operations, 26,000 went out from investing, 28,900 came in from financing. So there was a net increase of cash of 4,800. Add that to the beginning. Now this is a brand new business, so they had no cash in the beginning, and it ended at 4,800. So that's what I meant by reconcile, okay, the cash account. Now, if you go to the balance sheet as of December 1st, you look at cash, it should say whatever's here. In this case, it's 0, okay? Then if you go to the balance sheet on December 31st, you look across from cash, it should have 4,800. And it explains how it changed from the beginning to the ending, is basically what this did. And it's the statement of cash flows and it measures liquidity. Okay? And we'll just stop here. Just know that we'll introduce it now and we'll have to spend a whole chapter on it later. How's everybody doing? Doing good? All right. Let's do this. We're at a perfect place to take a break. If you'd be kind enough to let me take your picture. Now what I'd like you to do is get a, if you like actually, is get a plain piece of paper and hold it in front of you, just like a mug shot, right? And if you stand over here, and now the reason I do that is because sometimes when people write in it doesn't photograph. But if you have a plain sheet of paper, I'll hand it out the next class and write in your name, okay? So, how about this row coming on up here, hold a sheet of paper in front of you, and then if you want, just head on out and take a break. And we'll try to start in, let's say, 13 minutes, sound good? Let's make it 15 so everybody gets a bit of a break. And I'll try to take a 10-minute break. Let's make it 15. I'll try to make a 10-minute break somewhere near the middle. Hey, thank you. You tried it okay? Yeah. Okay. And don't write on it.
Oh, yeah.
Just hold it in front of you. Yeah, blank sheet of paper. Yeah, you're just fine. And by the way, and I appreciate you guys doing this. It's the only way I can remember your names, because I don't get stuff back anymore. Here you go. And then if you want to go and line up, actually, if you want to maybe move back toward the wall, and if you guys want to stand next to him over there. All right. You're going to go in that red shirt if you want to move in. So we're all fit close together. All right, thank you. Thanks, Jessica. And Melanie, wherever you fit. All right, Melanie's in the center. All right, and I do appreciate you guys just doing this. It's the only way to learn your names. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, nice job. Thank you guys. And hey, listen, if you want to just head on out and head on to break. Next row. All right, listen, could you step back just a bit? Thank you. If you do that, then I can, there we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, next row. Now the next row is a little short. Is there a row with a lot of people in it, maybe? No. Oh, got about 6. This will work out. The next row. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. All right, next row. Now 7's going to be quite a few. The guy on the end there, could you you mind coming up to the next row, because 7 I think is a bit many, because it makes people know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Write the name on the paper and then.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys very much. All right, next row. It's okay if you don't smile. Oh, hey, thank you guys. And if you come up the final row, that'll be about 6. Thanks. And hey, this will never show up on the internet or anything. It's just for my use. Okay. All right.
Okay, goofy picture, everybody stick your tongue out.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't click. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you. All right, and then maybe the last 6. Thanks. And 3, everybody stick their tongue out. Pretty memorable. If you do stick your tongue out, that will go in the net. All right. Okay. 1, oh, why did it go blind? There we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. All right.
I went out to that CD
Mm-hmm.
to try to do the formatting for statements.
Okay.
The only one I didn't have a problem with was the last one.
That was good. Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
can't remember how to format the columns.
On the CD. Okay.
He showed it,
Yeah.
so I wanted, because it's all self-oriented.
Okay.
And I was trying to set it up just the same way that you know, set up the page.
Okay.
It was set up. And no really underscore.
Oh, hey, but
You guys would.
yeah. Yeah. Why would this? Yeah. It is, and it's kind of surprising, isn't it? It is. It's not. It's just different.
You have to learn.
By the way, you're absolutely right. Because you know, food books, they advertise it and imply that I'm looking to work my system. No, because what happens is that 9 times out of 10, people would write with that. 1 times out of 10, you fix it. You can't fix it. So it used to double entry, but it didn't move. So you gotta know this to work at. When the next problem occurs. Well, I didn't have actually, just print it out. And then when you print it out, fill it in my hand. But, no, but you're sure welcome to it that way. Sure, and, these are Excel spreadsheets. So later on, if you type the numbers in there, because you get other stuff, so, but because it's like, yeah, but if it'll save you a lot of work if you do treat it that way.
Hold it up.
Yeah.
What's happening is you put it up there and then that's just.
Oh, yeah,
They're
okay.
working like
Yeah.
and they're working like
Yeah, that is
they're working till 6
Good.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah.
It's quieter. It's nicer, but it's not everybody shopping around.
But, yeah, there's a couple of things. Just
Actually, okay, I'm
And by the way,
not
later on,
shopping, like for some reason it's
this way, so do it on this
like
sheet of paper.
it's
And if you want to do it as you do it, it sure will save you a lot of work. Because, you know, you just print the numbers and
everybody like stocking shelves, you know, and you go to the car and you like then they
Maneuvering through the aisles.
Sounds good.
Then you have to go
Thank you.
anytime after.
Sure, be glad to.
Most of the aisles are good. Yeah. It's around 3:30 in the morning. Yeah.
What can I answer you?
Oh, really? Oh, okay. How long?
So everything is built to the shells on the main house.
Oh, wow.
Back in the old days.
Wow, that's a
And
different
then you
experience
walk.
than
Well,
what
it was very different.
So
It
most of the
really
houses
was
are
first. It was very different.
Really?
Mascara.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I've seen
It was
videos.
very different, but, yeah.
That's cool, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, we only have, I think, 12 people that do it. 12 people that overnight. Sometimes they overnight. When I started, I think
Okay,
we had-
sure. Let's see, now did you say, you did cite the goal? Good job. Get it put okay here, and I got you. Right?
It's,
Well, yes. Now, private and dark anyway, as a videotape.
it wasn't good when I started. It's better now. Now movies.
I'm going to get past here. Thank you very much. I'll just sit here. Red, all right.
The more people, the easier and